Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Drena Finds Out. And I'm so excited for everyone to meet Miss Tori Bishop with Outlier Creative Productions.
Yep.
She's so amazing. So I started the show, Drena Finds Out, because people will always come to me and be like, or they would say, if don't nobody else know, Drena know. And I'll be like, I don't know, I'll find out. But Tori is my person now. If Tori knows everybody. If she don't know somebody, she knows somebody that knows somebody. And like, it's people who are like, I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I was excited to meet her. I met Tori a long time ago in church. She used to sing in church. I don't know if she wants people to know that or not. She used to sing. And I think, did you move away for a while?
No, I left. I was living with my parents, and so when I moved to Gulfport, I just didn't sing anymore with the church.
So, and then I guess I was at Representative Sonia Williams Barnes, one of her events, and then I would always see Tori, always working behind the scenes. And then I decided about last year, I wanted to put together an event, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna need Tori to work with me because she gets stuff done. Like, I can get it done, but she gonna make sure it's done right. So I reached out to her, and we've been just wanting to work on an event together for quite some time, and we came together, and now we are working on one. And you may have seen the post about it, a Derby soiree, the Kentucky Derby, and it's celebrating the Black Horsemen of the original Kentucky Derby. I didn't know the history of it until Tori brought it up to me. So how did you find it?
So I was just Googling because we kind of talked about, what about doing a derby party? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that idea. So I'm just doing some research on, is there a black derby party? Like, how can we do something that celebrates our culture but also the Kentucky Derby? And I found the Harlem Derby. And the Harlem Derby is in Harlem, New York. It started off with just an idea, kind of the same thing. They wanted to find something in the Kentucky Derby that celebrated African American history. And so they did the research and found that most of the jockeys in the beginning of the Kentucky Derby were black. And some of their records still stand to this day. And so they have a whole website, you can Google it, dedicated to the Harlem Derby. It started off with 100 people. Now it has grown to, they have big wine sponsors and all kinds of restaurants involved. It's a really big event in Harlem, New York. So I'm like, man, Drena, I sent it to you,
right? And
you were like, that's hot.
Yeah.
And so you sent some ideas of things we could do, and it was like, bet, that's what we gonna do.
Yeah.
We gonna do this.
I'm really excited about it because one thing I feel like about African American in our community, I always have loved watching like what celebrities wear to the Kentucky Derby. Even before I even knew what it was, I was like, I don't know how long this thing goes, but I just love seeing the fashion of it. But I feel like in our community, in our culture, one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna dress.
Girl, we're gonna put some clothes
on. For every event, we're gonna find an outfit, we're gonna make it work, we're gonna make it come together.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think this is perfect for us to highlight down here.
And then when we talked about, so we were looking for different locations and we called around the coast and stuff, and then we thought you said, what about doing it at the place to be, Elaine's? And I'm like, he got the courtyard.
Right.
It's beautiful out there. He's made a lot of renovations to this beautiful outdoor space. And I had previously done an event there. And I'm like, man, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So you said at first, he was like...
Yeah, at first he was like, no. I didn't tell him what it was because I was like, I want to be guarded with it. I was just like, I want to have an event. And he was like, that's after First Friday. I can't ask my staff to come back. And, all this and that. But, we talked to him.
Well, when he heard the concept...
Well, in person, when he was like, Kentucky Derby, well, that's a different story.
Right. So Javon, we have to give him, I guess a special shout out because First Friday is like his biggest event.
Right.
And so for him to bring his staff back in for this and make those accommodations for us, and he has been so gracious, like meeting us when we've had to do to plan for the event and things like that. So we
Helping
just
us
want
promote.
helping us promote. So we want to definitely give a special shout out to him, and then for understanding the event and being excited about it, because initially I was against bringing a horse, because you said horse, and
I think a horse would be amazing. Like, it's going to be a showstopper.
We ain't finna have no horse. Where we gonna put a horse at? And then I thought about it. I said, okay, well, I do know a black man that owns a horse and carriage, so let me call Mr. Tillison. And Mr. Tillison has some beautiful black majestic horses and amazing white carriage. And I happened to meet him one day when he was doing an event down here. My husband and I paid to do a carriage ride, and he and his wife were so nice. So whenever I meet vendors, I keep their cards. So when you say I know people, it's just because if I meet somebody and they make an impression on me, I keep their card. I never know when I'm going to need them again. This was one of those situations where it was like, okay, well, we need a horse. I got a horse.
And then Tori was like, well, Kentucky Derby, we need some hat people there. And she was like, I know a hat person.
Well, I met them too. There's a guy that plays like hip hop violin, and I went to a concert with him to see him last year, and they had these guys that they were so bad. Y'all, they bad. I'm telling you, like when they show up to sell their items, they are dressed to the nines. Full suits, like vest, bow tie. They're clean. And they really made an impression. So not only did I spend a lot of money with them, but I kept their card. So I was like, okay, let me call them.
Right.
So they're coming down from Georgia, Slick Lids, and I guess we can like post this in post-production. We'll post their Facebook page, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They just have style. So they're coming down with us, and the cool thing about them is like they have men's hats and ladies' hats. Their ladies' hats are still more like fedora type hats, but they will customize them like the bands that go around them. They will customize them right there while you're there. So they have some great items.
Another person we're excited about having is Miss Natalie Bonner. She is the brainchild and creator of the Canifest that they had over the weekend. There was a lot of attention on social media, and I think a lot of people that did show up to go out there, because I passed by in the later hours, and they still had a lot of
They were
people
out there till midnight.
Yeah, there were still a lot of people out there. So she is the owner of the Blue Lotus Creations in Biloxi, and then she has her partner, Miss Sabrina Stallworth.
Yep.
And together they own the
Champagne Art
and CBD store in Biloxi. It's on Howard Avenue. I've been there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And they have some awesome stuff in there. So they'll both be there at the event selling their CBD items and their leather goods and everything that they have. So and then we'll also have Private Reserve with the hookahs there.
Yeah.
Because you need hookahs.
Hookah people.
You need hookahs there. So I think with everything we have, plus all the decor that Tori is putting together, because that's her thing. The decor is her thing. And she's like, and I'm just looking, she's like, well, what do you think about this? And she'll name 20 things, and I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, no, tell me what you think. And I'm like, I think whatever you come up with is going to be awesome.
Drena, that's what you're so amazing to work with, because not only do you bring like an amazing idea to the table, because I'm really excited about one of our backdrops, which maybe we'll have a chance to preview soon. But it was definitely Drena's brainchild. And then me, like, I'll walk through and be like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. And Drena just sitting there. I'm like, oh, what do you think? And she's like, I like it. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I'm very laid back. Just like I think all my relationships, even like business relationships, like with me and DeVario, the man with the plan behind the camera, he's always like, give me a date, write it down.
Right.
Why don't you write this down? And Tori's like, let me get my notebook out. And I'm like, oh, okay, I remember. And then we get here and I like freeze up, and he's like, I told you to write it down.
Drena, you do an amazing job. I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
And I try.
You do an amazing job. We worked together on another event, a health fair last year, and I could not have done it without Drena. So I think if you have two like dominant personalities, we would probably be hitting heads or butting heads. So the fact that, that's why we complement each other, because You're able to bring ideas. I'm able to bring ideas, and we get it done together. And so that's why I enjoy working with you.
Well, I enjoy it as well. I have a good time. And I think that people are really going to enjoy what we have coming up. And all the stuff to come, because this won't be our last thing that we work on together.
Right. It is not going to be our last thing.
So I think everyone's big question is, what do I wear to Kentucky Derby party?
Yeah.
So we are going to come back, and we're going to have some looks for y'all. And we also want to let y'all know, you can still get tickets on Eventbrite. You can search my Facebook page, Tori's Facebook page. I think I've shared it every day. I'm emailing. I'm doing everything.
So Drena is the promotion in. I told her going into this, I was like, listen, I seem to know a lot of people, but I do not have a large sphere of influence when it comes to that. That's just not my thing. However, the people that are watching this, I love y'all, and I really hope that you come to this event. I am more of a behind the scenes person, and so that again is why we make a great team, because your events always sell out. This is my really first time, I think, doing something like independent. Normally I'm doing things for other people, so I'm nervous. But Drena's like, right, Drena's like, girl, we gonna be fine. And I'm like, but and again, that's, I'm telling you, that's what makes a great partnership, because where I fall short, you pick up. Where you fall short, I pick up. And so that means, you know, we will have a great event. But we really do ask that you support this event, because not only are you helping us, but you're helping something that could grow into be something really big for the quarters.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and you're supporting a lot of people.
You are.
A lot of businesses are going into it.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, and people are to be there.
Correct.
So, like I said, we'll come back. We'll have some ideas for y'all for headpieces, hats, and outfits. Because
well, let's talk about that before we go.
Okay.
Because we didn't talk about, so we are doing the best dress contest,
We are having a best dress contest.
So we got best dress couple.
Yes. Best dress couple. Male and female. And then the best derby hat with a twist. Yes.
So on the best derby hat, you'll notice that I have on a head wrap, and Drena has on what would be like a traditional derby style hat. Our best derby hat, you can also get the best head wrap. So ladies that are creative, if you want to take your head wrap and pin flowers to it and do something really extra, bring it.
Right.
Because you could win a prize.
Yes.
So
we definitely have prizes in the building, and each ticket comes with champagne
and food.
It comes with food,
and the food will be by Elaine's.
Yes.
Because our last event that we did there, the food was delicious. So I was like, let's not change that formula.
Right. Keep it there.
Keep it there. We already got good food. Let's roll with it.
Oh yeah, we have a live band, the real band. They're gonna be there, and then we also have a DJ Danzy. So it's going to be a whole vibe.
Yeah, and we say a fashion show already, So we're going to do
fashion
derby fashion through the decades, and who knows, we might have a few other surprises, but you got to be there in the place to be to know what they might be.
And get your tickets, because half of them are gone already.
Yeah, they are.
They gone.
Yep.